My name is Jody, I'm an automotive journalist, and today we're meeting my friend Nhu Nguyen. She will never tell you this because she's way too humble, but she's the first woman in the world to be a certified Porsche Classic Technician. I think she's a badass. I'm like, how is no one talking about this? Like, you should be way more famous than you actually are. Like, I don't know if you know this.
I got into cars initially when I started driving. I was like, I love this. But I needed to understand what I was doing if things go wrong. I didn't want to be taken advantage of, so I started to learn. But leaving high school, I didn't pursue it. I didn't see where I could take it. My family wasn't very supportive because they didn't see the possibilities either, right? And I definitely didn't have the discipline.
When Nhu was a teen, she loved cars and driving, but she was getting into too much trouble with the law, so she just couldn't keep going down that path because it could have ended up really badly.
My insurance was like $570 a month. Like, it was crazy. Oh, so I was like, I need to exit. And then I dedicated my life to culinary. My favorite thing to make was a chocolate souffle. Chocolate souffle with like the ganache center, so it was like super gooey and melty. It was my absolute favorite. And I really wanted to succeed in that, but I realized that that was more that I wanted to give of myself into a career.
Interesting. How come?
Because if you want to succeed as a chef, you live, eat, breathe, sleep. Like that's it. There's no life outside of it. It was too high stress for me. Like it was manifesting physically. Like I would be sick. And so I cut out a lot of the things that was contributing to it. And cooking was one of them. Cooking professionally was one of them. But then I had my son and I left that. And I needed something just kind of stable. And I was like, okay, what do I want to do that I'll actually want to wake up to in the mornings for the next 35 years of my life? So I revisited becoming a mechanic. I found a shop. It was a family friend whose family owned the shop. They took me in and I was like, I think I could change oil. And he's like, that's the least of your worries. But they gave me the shot, and then within the week I was doing alignments. Yeah, like I just kind of fell into it pretty easily. Like I understood. Once I can see how things are meant to work together, it clicks.
When you're going to school to be a technician, at what point were you like, I want to go for my Porsche Classic certification? Like, when did that switch happen?
I was a year and a half into that first shop, and they had a classic guy and they were bringing classic work in, and I just saw that the level of work was different than with the newer cars, and it was that kind of work that I wanted to get into. I wanted to get more into engines. It's mechanical in its like core. It's all these individual moving parts working together. And as you progress through the years of the cars, it gets more advanced and electronics play a bigger role in it. Understanding how each car is designed and how each component is supposed to work, and being able to figure out what's wrong based on the symptoms, based on testing results. Making something look that's like dirty and greasy and old and broken and dry and cracked, and then making it look fresh and brand new again, just is like my favorite part.
Was there a point where you realized that like no woman before had ever done that and that you would be the first?
Yes, because the Porsche PAG in Germany had just developed the curriculum for Porsche Classic certification, and I was the first class in North America. And I knew that there hadn't been any women who had gone through and been certified in Europe. So being that I was in first class North America, when I was certified, I was like, I'm the first lady.
How did that feel like for you?
It was amazing. All of my teachers have been super supportive and encouraging. My classmates were the same. My experience has been like really good.
You've always just been super mechanically inclined then.
I have a memory when I was in grade 2 where the typewriter at school, yes, I'm not old, wasn't working. So I took it apart and I put it back together and I made it work. Different engineers, we all approach problems differently, right? It's the same problem, but you and I will solve it differently. the way that Porsches are engineered makes sense to me. But when I've worked on different brands, I just can't, it doesn't click as well. The accessibility, the way things are designed, the forethought to serviceability afterwards, that for me is like, with Porsche is, for me, the best. When you look into the engine bay of an early 911 versus a modern 911, there's way less room for activities in the newer stuff than versus the older stuff.
So the older stuff you can like really get in.
Oh yeah.
When there was a switch in kind of your family's perception of what you were doing, was there a moment that happened, or was it like a slower process?
They're super supportive. My mom's so proud of me. I was doing this regardless, but when I actually heard that from them, it just meant so much more.
For an Asian parent to tell their kid they're proud of them is major. And it's not that they're not proud, they just don't tell us a lot. So it's like even more important than actually getting the certification was getting that validation
that
from your
definitely
parents.
felt better, yeah, that meant more, for sure. Like the sense of accomplishment of getting the certification was huge, but this was something I got to share with my family. One of my favorite things about all of this is that my son's norm is that his mom is a mechanic, right? It's like he understands that it's not a normal job for a woman, but that's his norm. Like he's not into cars at all, but he's super supportive and he always tries, you know, like he's like, hey mom, look at those cool wheels. And I look over and they're like spinning hubcaps. And I was like, oh my gosh. He tells his friends about me. I'm not like the mom that you're like, oh mom, Joe, you're embarrassing me. I'm actually the cool mom.
I love that you're a cool mom. I knew that you were a cool mom. You got the certification, you got this wicked job, and it's like, how else can you more fully become yourself?
I want to become that you know, like that Porsche Classic expert that everyone thinks that I am, that I don't feel that I am.
It is crazy to me that someone as accomplished as Nhu still feels imposter syndrome, but I think we all second-guess ourselves sometimes. For Nhu, this journey really comes full circle. After quitting cars as a teen and then burning out doing pastry, I am so happy that she finally realized that this is what she was meant to do. But I really wanted to know what was the most important thing she'd learned after all these years.
You are whole and complete regardless of your accomplishments, right? The accomplishments are like sprinkles or cherries or whatever, but the ice cream's good all on its own. So I think it's coming to be happy with what you have is that's the key to that. Like always strive for more, but if I don't get it, I'm still happy. But I feel so much more comfortable in my skin and my, you know, quirks or whatever it is, so much more comfortable. Because I'm just who I am. I want to inspire people to see the light and the love and the power in themselves. Because it's the journey.
It's all about
it's so
the
cliche,
journey.
but it is the journey. And being that it's the journey, if something doesn't work out or something falls down or something fails, that's not the end of the journey. That's just a lesson. It really just is a lesson. That wasn't for me, but I didn't know until I tried it.